Jersey Shore, getting to slip down to the Outer Banks for a few days. You're doing a big show at the Pit tomorrow night. Everyone's looking forward to it.
Yep.
That's going to be fun, and now it's kind of going to be a cool mix of your art as well as music. But why don't you tell people a little bit about your art?
About my art, well, a lot of my art that we're focusing on for this particular show is in a genre called surf art, which is mostly coastally based artwork with some of my surfing influence. I've been surfing and skating and snowboarding ever since I can remember, and it's a big passion of mine to focus on the ocean and Mother Nature and surfing, and I'm really excited to share it with people down here. I love the area, and it should be a great time.
You definitely timed your visit right, as we were talking about before. It's flat up in Jersey, but you've gotten to get surfed the last couple of days, and it definitely pervades a lot of your art. When we were checking it out before, it's almost like if Salvador Dali wasn't so dark and surfed. Now you kind of see a perspective like that.
Right.
But you were saying before, man, it's a really cool twist on like the bending of the waves and how we kind of fit in a lot of them.
Yeah, you know, Salvador Dali was a big influence of mine. Ever since I was young, I would sit there and just stare at his paintings. And I'm into a lot of different artists that would just stretch reality and create their own perspective and their own genre. And when I started painting, I thought, you know, if I'm going to paint something, I want to do something that photographs just can't portray. So I try to see things and paint things and depict things that other people might not necessarily see in the same way, to give them a different experience.
It is definitely a cool perspective, and if you check out the website, what is the website? JayAlders.com?
Correct. JayAlders.com.
You can see some of the stuff. You had a really cool take on Donavon Frankenreiter on there, among other things.
Yeah, we did that painting of Donovan. I was on tour in Brazil in '07 with Donovan and G-Love and ALO and Matt Costa. It was this sick tour.
That sounds like a terrible time.
Yeah, it was really awful, man.
Really bad music there.
It's slightly better than being in a cubicle. But yeah, it was pretty epic. We were on tour with them for a couple of weeks, and this one particular night we were in the hills in Rio, in the favelas, which are like the ghettos, and there was like gunshots in the background. It was pretty cool. And they were just jamming out. It was a great night, and I was sitting there in the corner with my sketchbook and sketched this picture of Donovan and the guys, and came back, and I'm like, you know, I really just gotta paint this. And I painted the picture, and a day or two later, when I was finished with it, I got a call from Donovan on my cell phone, which is cool in its own right.
Yeah.
And he's like, bro, man, that painting is sick. I love it. Like, gotta use it, man. And ever since then, ever since that trip, we've just been in touch quite a bit, and he's been using it for his promotions, and Billabong now picked it up for their promotions and their posters, and
Cool.
pretty epic.
It's been kind of a trampoline for you, I bet.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a sick ride. You know, it's the sickest ride I've ever had. It's amazing.
Tell us a little bit about this deal at the Pit, how this came together.
Well, I've got to thank my girlfriend Chelsea for that. She's been helping me quite a bit with my promotions and marketing, and her and I got in touch with Ben, who's become a friend of ours, and we presented the idea to him. We love the area. We were looking for an excuse to get back down here. We were out here last year, and Chelsea's been coming down here, you know, throughout her childhood. And last year we just had such an amazing time. The surf was great. The area was awesome. And we're like, you know, this is a great opportunity to escape New Jersey. So let's make this happen. So Ben was, you know, very receptive to it. And he got a band called The Influence, who's actually a band we've come to like since we've been listening to them. And that's pretty much how it came about.
It's a fun time. We've talked about it before. It's funny how this area, and maybe it's just the dynamic of the landscape and the seashore, but a lot of artists are just kind of migrate here to the Outer Banks. I mean, there's just a lot of inspiration, I suppose.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, from where I am in New Jersey, like I was talking to you earlier, it's near New York, it's near Philly, so it has a lot of great opportunity, but the wide open space and just that coastal feel of the wide open beaches and then, you know, the super wide sand dunes and just nice people. It's kind of strange for me, you know, so it's great to come here and just be inspired and see the sunrise and hear the seagulls chirping and surfing in the lineup and having pelicans almost chop your head off.
Yeah, how about that?
Pretty wild.
How about that?
It's good stuff. So how's this going to go tomorrow night? From about 7 till 9, you'll be hanging out with your artwork, talking to people. Is that the deal?
Yeah, from 7 to 9, we're going to do a artist meet and greet, so we'll get to have an opportunity to talk with some of the locals and hopefully meet some really cool people. And from what I understand, The Influence is going to be hanging out as well. And then they go on stage, I think, like 10 or 10:30, and we're going to have a bunch of my artwork down there. I brought my entire Jeep was jam-packed with artwork and canvases and paintings and all kinds of fun stuff. So we're going to be sharing it with locals and whoever decides to come out. And I'm really excited about it.
Right on. We're looking forward to it. It's going to be a good time. It's tomorrow night, 7 to 9, the meet and greet. Show goes on at 10, and get to see a lot of really cool art. And thanks for coming down.
pleasure. Thanks for having me here, guys.
JayAlders.com, ALDERS, if you want to check out Jay's work. Good luck tomorrow night.
Thank you.
Music now from the Kooks. This is She Moves in Her Own Way. Speaking of Kooks, we'll be talking to Gary and Kerala.
Yes, we will.
Sure.